Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Light Talks Football, and welcome to another episode of Premier League predictions. And this weekend is game week number 35. So you can see there's basically 3 games to go. And also, today's the 1st of May. So I want to wish everybody a happy new month. May the grace of God fulfill your life and yeah, to all those people playing for trophies, may it happen in Jesus' name. Amen. So yeah, man, we're in the final month of the Premier League. And yeah, with 3 games to go, plus some teams have some games in hand, we're gonna determine who's gonna get relegated, who's gonna get Europe, and who's gonna win the league, for now until the next 4 weeks. So I'm looking forward to this, man. I really am. So this is game week 35, and today I'm gonna do my Premier predictions, and we'll see where we go from here. So if you guys have done so already, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and share your predictions in the comments below. And I'll make sure I'll react to them as soon as I can, because usually I don't react to the comments, but I promise you guys, if I see any comments below, I'll react and we'll see where we go from here. So there we go. And of course, there are big games, but the biggest game is the Northwest Derby. The battle of two biggest clubs in England, Man United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford. Now, this game is at 3:30, which is strange because usually is a game at 4:30, but there is one game which is strange, which I'll get to in just a minute, because there's only 2 games on Monday, in the Premier League, but there used to be, but there's usually one. But we'll talk all about that when we get there. But anyway, without further ado, let's go. All right, so the first game, of course, is late today, which is Leeds United versus Burnley. Of course, Leeds United got that 2-0 draw in their last Premier League game against Bournemouth, which I got it spot on. Where for Burnley, they are relegated because they've lost 1-0 to Man City at home. Now, guys, as I'm recording this right now, since that relegation, Scott Parker is gone, and guess who the interim manager is? Michael Jackson. Now you think here that that the proper Michael Jackson is the manager. No, Michael Jackson is a different kind of Michael Jackson. And it's not too long ago, people, that Michael Jackson did a movie not too long ago. So it's crazy right now that like Burnley sacked their manager and then bringing Michael Jackson. Like, maybe I don't know what's gonna happen when Burnley have their games at home. Maybe they do, songs that for Michael Jackson. If I let me just see, and I'm gonna tell you guys the songs that I know from Michael Jackson. So one sec, let me, hopefully it shouldn't take too long. Yeah, so these are the songs I know from Michael Jackson: Billie Jeans, Bad, Beat It, Thriller, Black or White, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, and You Are Not Alone. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs that I know from Michael Jackson. So I don't know which songs they will do when they barely have a game at Turf Moor, but we shall see, man. So yeah, Michael Jackson is the interim manager, but it's not the real one. It's not the real one. So we'll see if Michael Jackson can make Burnley get some, with just try and get these results, even though they're relegated. So it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But Leeds are playing tonight against Burnley, and yeah, man, Leeds are safe, but a few more wins will guarantee them survival, so they're not done yet. But let's have a look at these stats. So, Leeds lost 1-0 at home to Burnley in the Championship last season, but never lost consecutive home games against the Counts before. Burnley are looking to complete their third ever league double for Leeds United after 1926 to 27 top flight and then 2020 to 14, which is the Championship. Leeds have failed to score in each of their last 3 league games against Burnley, having never previously gone back-to-back matches without a goal against the Clarets. This is the sixth time Leeds are facing a side in the Premier League who have ever been relegated, and first since May 2021 against West Brom. They've won each of their previous five by an aggregate score of 18 to 3. Leeds are unbeaten in the last five Premier League games. Meanwhile, they've earned as many points and scored more goals in the last three league matches than they have in the previous eight combined. And finally, Burnley. Oh, sorry, let me just say this one. Burnley have just won one of their last 25 Premier League games, beating Crystal Palace 3-2 in February. However, nine of the Clouds' last 13 points earned have come away from home. And finally, Leeds have drawn 13 Premier League games this season, the second most after Bournemouth, and the joint most in a 38 game campaign, also in 96 to 97 and 1998 to 1999. So, as you can see, these stats kind of do not work in Leeds' favour. Especially the fact that they haven't beaten Burnley for a while. But listen, since Burnley are relegated, like I mentioned, Leeds United are in 15th place and they're on 40 points. So yeah, if Leeds United can get a few more points, let's say they win their next maybe two games or so, then they are definitely safe because Leeds United are 6 points above the relegation. So Leeds cannot avoid any defeats from now until the season. And since there's three games to go, Leeds all they have to do is win at least two more and they are automatically safe. So even though Leeds have got 40 points, they're still not out of the relegation zone just yet. So if Leeds can win the next two games, then that'll be good for them. So yeah, in this game later today, for me, I'm predicting a Leeds win of I'm gonna go for a 3-0 because I remember I predicted Wolves were relegated that times, and I predicted at least 3-0 win against Wolves, and I got that spot on. So I thought to myself, let me go for another 3-0. Let's go for a 3-0 Leeds win against Burnley. Of course, Leeds' last game was against my club, and they've lost, but they showed effort in that game. So yeah, they're looking to just making sure they survive. So like I say, if they win the next two games, then they are safe. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 3-0 Leeds win. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score and Okafor to get a brace. So, and I think Leeds United are doing let me look at their forms. Yeah, look at this. Leeds United are unbeaten in last five Premier League games, three draws and two wins. So their record in the Premier League has been good. It really has. So yeah, I think they're going to win 3-0. And like I said, even though Michael Jackson is the interim manager, I and maybe it might help them. For me, Burnley are just going down, and Leeds want to make sure they are safe. So that's why I'm going to go for Leeds 3-0 win against Burnley, which is of course today. Right, Saturday's games. Now, of course, there is no lunchtime kickoff because the EFL last game of the season, which is tomorrow, and all of the game is at 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So the Championship, the League One, the League Two, and I'm not sure if the National League North and South have the same match days as them, but yeah, so that's why there's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff. And yeah, the games I'm looking forward to is the Wrexham Middlesbrough game, Ipswich Town against QPR, and who else is playing? Let me have a look because let's see. So EFL Championships that is. Oh yeah, Millwall. They've got their game against one sec. So yeah, Wrexham versus Middlesbrough. Millwall are home to Oxford, and Ipswich Town are at home to QPR. Now, one of those teams here will get automated promotion because as it stands right now, Ipswich Town are in second place on 81 points, Millwall are in third place on 80 points, and Middlesbrough are in fourth place on 79 points. One of them will get second place. Now, if all of those teams here win their game, let's say that Ipswich, Millwall, and Middlesbrough win, then Ipswich Town will be in the Premier League. But if Millwall want to get automatic promotion, they have got to be Oxford United and hoping that Ipswich Town and Middlesbrough both drop points. So that's the only way that Millwall can get second place. But the same goes for Middlesbrough because if they beat Wrexham, that means they'll be in second place, and they need to make sure that both Ipswich Town and Millwall lose their games. So as you can see, three teams are battling up for second place, and yeah, there you go. Whereas for Wrexham, they're usually the team, yeah, that get back-to-back promotions, but unfortunately, the Championship they didn't get second. But Wrexham, yeah, this is a huge game for them because if you look at Hull, they they're in seventh place and they're also on 70 points, the same as Wrexham. And Derby County are 1 point behind them. So all Wrexham have got to do, yeah, is to win their game, and they'll be in an automatic promotion. But the same goes for Hull. If they win their game, they're in if the Hull City want to be in the playoff, they need to make sure they win their game, and both Wrexham and Derby County lose their games or drop points. And finally, the same goes for Derby County. If they want to be in the playoff, they need to win their game and hope that both Wrexham and Hull City lose. So, as you can see here, the battle for automatic promotion and the playoff is going to be interesting. And we all know that Oxford, Leicester City, and Sheffield Wednesday are all relegated. So, those are the games that doesn't really matter. But yeah, man, so that's why there's no trophy to pin kickoff. So that's why the games I'll be watching is Ipswich Town against QPR, Millwall against Oxford, and Middlesbrough versus Wrexham. And maybe I might watch Hull's game and Derby County's game. So that's why there's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So I'm looking forward to the EFL Championship last game of the season. So it's going to be a really exciting one. It really is. So yeah, man, let's make straight. So yeah, sorry. Let's move on into the 3 p.m. kickoffs, and the first one, of course, is Brentford versus West Ham. Of course, West Ham got a last-minute winner against Everton. So they're still in 17th place on 36 points. Whereas for Brentford, I mean that they their unbeaten streak is over because they've lost 2-1 away to Man United at Old Trafford. And Brentford did have chances in that game, but they just weren't clinical. They really weren't. And it's a good thing that Brentford didn't beat Man United. But like I said, I honestly do not care. I'm just focusing on my team rather than focus on everyone else. So there we go. But yeah, West Ham, I mean, listen, if they want to, go closer to survival, they have to keep winning every single game. Because if West Ham lose to Brentford and Tottenham beat Aston Villa, then West Ham are back in the relegation zone. They really are. So if West Ham want to survive, they need to keep on winning and making sure that Tottenham keep dropping points. So there we go. So yeah, the battle for survival between potentially Leeds, Forest, West Ham, and Tottenham is going to be interesting. It really is. So yeah, man, we'll see how West Ham do in this game. So let's do some stats, shall we? So Brentford have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League home games against West Ham, with only exception being a 1-0 draw last season. West Ham have lost 7 of their last 9 Premier League games against Brentford, the highest lost weight against any side they faced more than 5 times in the competition. West Ham have conceded in all 9 of their Premier League games against Brentford, only facing Ipswich Town more without keeping a clean sheet. Brentford have won just 2 of their last 50 Premier League London derbies matches, though both those victories came against West Ham at home. Game against West Ham. At home, the Bees are winners in 9 London derbies since a 2-1 win against Crystal Palace in August 2024. West Ham have won two of their last four Premier League London derbies, earning as many points in these four games as they did in the previous 14 combined. And finally, Brentford are winners in their last six Premier League home games, with each of those three finishing level. They lost to four consecutive home league games in March or slash April 2021 in the championship. So you can see that some stats. I feel like some stats do work in West Ham's favor, but some stats also work in Brentford's favor as well. So it's kind of tough to see who will come out on top. So for me, yeah, as a neutral fan, I would love West Ham to win because you know me, like us as a Chelsea fan, the song says we hate Tottenham and we want and Chelsea could potentially relegate them. So I would love West Ham to win. But I feel like this game is going to be a draw because Brentford like you saw me read out, haven't won any Premier League game in the last six. They lost their last game and they draw at least five times in a row. So I think there's going to be a draw. But like I said, West Ham, if they want to boost their hopes for staying up, they've got to win this game. They really got to win this game. And the only way West Ham are going to get at least 40 points or more is to win every single game. Every single game because they're on 36 points. So that's why for me, this is huge game for West Ham. And for me, like I said, I really do not care about this one, but as a Chelsea fan, I will want West Ham to get a win. I really do want them. But if they don't, then it's not my problem. It really isn't. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, I wanted to predict a West Ham win, but to be honest with you, I'm just gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for 1-1 because you know, West Ham don't have a good record at the G2 Community Stadium, but Brentford, when it comes to London derbies, they just really poor at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for 1-1. I'm just gonna go for 1-1, and let's see Brentford can be more clinical in the game against West Ham than they did against Man United. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for a 1-0 draw. Goal scores for Brentford, Igor Thiago, and that's it. For West Ham, I'm gonna go for Jared Bowen. So yeah, 1-0 draw in this game tomorrow. So there we go. So yeah. So that's my prediction on that one. The next 3 p.m. kickoff is Newcastle versus Brighton. Now, my goodness me, Eddie Howe, man. Eddie Howe is under a real pressure. Real pressure. Like, Newcastle have lost four Premier League games in a row ever since that win against my club. But yeah, look at this. Lost, 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 lost. Like, that is absolutely crazy. Like, what I don't understand is that whenever Newcastle play one game a week, they manage to finish in the top four or top five to get Champions League. And now, when they do get Champions League, it looks like they cannot afford, to handle Europe. Like, it's absolutely crazy. It really is. Like, honestly, like, and I also do feel sorry for Newcastle because they try to bring in players that they really want to sign, but they rejected them. And that's why Newcastle are all over the place. So, yeah, man, Newcastle right now are just in a difficult position. They really are. They're in 14th right now. And like I said, Leeds, Newcastle are 2 points above Leeds and 3 points above Nottingham Forest. If Newcastle don't get a win, they could potentially be in 16th. 16th by the end of game week 35. Because if Leeds beat Burnley today, they go above Newcastle. And if Forest get a result, against my club, they can go above Newcastle as well because both Newcastle and Forest goal difference are the same. They are the same. So it's crazy to think that Newcastle could be potentially in 16th by the end of this weekend. It's crazy, but they're against a Brighton side who are doing really well. And as it stands right now, New Brighton are in sixth. Now that doesn't guarantee them getting Champions League football because because Villa lost 1-0 away in the first leg in the Europa League semi-final, but it's only 1-0. And if it's not done yet. So we'll see what Aston Villa can do in the second leg, which is in 6 days' time. So as it stands, sixth place gets you Europa League, but it could all change next week. It could definitely all change. So yeah, man. So Brighton are in a good position. For Newcastle, not so much, man. Not so much. But let's have a look at these stats to see and we'll see which will go in their favor. So, Newcastle have won just two of their last 17 Premier League games against Brighton, though both victories have come at home. 2-1 in 2022 and 4-1 in May 2023. Following their 2-1 win in October, Brighton are looking to complete the second Premier League double over Newcastle after COVID. Newcastle have lost 16 Premier League games this season, with 7 coming at St James Park. Both are their highest number of defeats in a campaign since COVID, which is 17 overall and 8 at home. So Newcastle could potentially, equal that record. Newcastle have lost their last 4 league games with a 1-0 loss at Arsenal following 3 consecutive 2-1 defeats. They lost 5 in a row in January 2021, while only Wolves beat between May and August 2021 have they ever had 5 consecutive 1-goal defeats in the Premier League. Brighton have won 6 of their last 8 Premier League games, as many as in their previous 23. They have scored at least twice in each of their last 4, last doing so 5 in a row between May to March 2025. And finally, Newcastle have dropped a league high 25 points from winning positions in the Premier League this season, the second most in a single campaign after 0405, which is 31. Meanwhile, the Magpies have won just 3 points from lose position this term, the joint fewest in the division. So you can clearly see that these stats do not really work in Newcastle's favour. It really don't. And in terms of their form, like I said, 4 defeats in a row, which is absolutely crazy. So for me, yeah, I just feel, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'll be worried, and I'll still think to myself, how is Eddie Howe still at the job? It honestly doesn't make any sense. It really don't. So I'm sorry to say this to Newcastle fans, but I can see you get another defeat, especially at St James Park. So I'm gonna go for a 2 on Brighton win. And I would love Newcastle to get result, but like I said, I'm only focusing on my team, so I'm just gonna forget about that. But yeah, Brighton, they're fighting for Europe, so this is a huge game for them and for Newcastle because, like I said, they lose that game and Leeds and Forest win their game this weekend, they'll be 16th. 16th Newcastle. Like, how can you go from 5th to 16th? Just like that. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, 2 on Brighton. It's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So, yeah, that's going to be my score prediction. Yeah, 2-1. All right. The next game is Wolves versus Sunderland. Of course, both teams did lose their last game, but the biggest talking point is that Sunderland got destroyed 5-0 at home to Nottingham Forest. 5-0, like that is absolutely crazy. I all thought that, yeah, Sunderland, I don't think they might win that game because the only win since that Liverpool loss is against Tottenham. That's basically it. But 5-0, at home. That is crazy. But Wolves, I mean, you would have thought that since you would have thought that they're gonna get result against Spurs because Tottenham has never ever won a Premier League game this calendar year. But Wolves are the first team to do that. Like they've lost 1-0 at home to Tottenham. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, man, Wolves. I mean, the past couple of months, they've been looking really good, Wolves. They really have. But they have they've lost 3 games in a row. 3 Premier League games in a row. And like I said, included that loss against Tottenham. So yeah, Wolves, like you would have thought that if they could win every single game, they could automatically be safe, but that's not the case right now. So yeah, Wolves are relegated, and it just looks like they're just gonna end the season just losing every single game. So there we go. Whereas for Sunderland, they lost 2 Premier League games in a row, but that's not much as was as Wolves. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's crazy right now. But let's just see some stats in that game. So here we go. Wolves are unbeaten in their last 7 home league games against Sunderland. This is the first time they've hosted them since a 0-0 draw in the Championship in December 2017, and the first time in the Premier League since December 2011. Sunderland have won just Sunderland have won their last 2 league games against Wolves. They're looking to complete the double over them for the first time since 1949 to 50, when they last won 3 in a row against them in March 1937. Sunderland had kept a clean sheet in their last 4 league games against Wolves, and one stretching back to April 2012. They last had a longer one without conceding against an opponent versus Bradford City between 1989 and 1999, which is 7 games. Wolves have lost all 4 Premier League games against promoted sides this season. Only 4 teams have ever lost 5 in a single campaign: Ipswich Town, Sunderland, Leicester City, and Southampton. And finally, Wolves have failed to score in a league high 18 different Premier League games this season. The last team to fail in more were Norwich City, while it's Wolves' first most in the top flight campaign after 1983 to 84 and 1981 to 82, which is 20 times. So you can clearly see that these stats really do not work in Wolves' favor. It just really don't. It just don't. So yeah, man. In terms of this game, I mean, I tried to back Wolves, but they just keep losing games. So for me, I'm gonna go for Sunderland. I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Sunderland win. I'm gonna go for 2-0. Like, they will bounce back, Sunderland. Like, the fact they lost 5-0 at home to Nottingham Forest last week Friday, crazy man. Crazy man. But they'll get the job done. They'll certainly get the job done, and they will bounce back. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Sunderland win. Oh, the goal scorers. Sorry, the Newcastle goal scorer, I'm gonna go for Voltemada. For Brighton, I'm gonna go for Matoma and Danny Welbeck. For Sunderland goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Bowie and Granit Xhaka. So yeah, 2-0 to Sunderland is gonna be my score prediction tomorrow. Now, we move on into a 5:30 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday, and also 5:30 p.m. kickoff again, because last week their game was against Newcastle and that was a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. So yeah, man. So there goes another one. So yeah, back-to-back home games, and they're at home against Fulham. Now, Arsenal are looking to go 6 points clear of Man City, because Man City have a game against Everton on a Monday night. So, and of course, Man City again do have a game in hand. So, if Arsenal want to win this league and put more pressure against Man City, they've got to win, because their next game after that is another London derby away to West Ham at the London Stadium. And that's going to be a very tough game, because West Ham are fighting for their lives. Really are fighting for their lives. So if Arsenal want to win this league, I said this to people after that 2-1 defeat against Manchester City. Arsenal got to win every single game and hoping that they improve their goals, because Arsenal, like, they haven't scored at least one goal since their last. I can't, in fact, when is the last time Arsenal scored more than one goal? Because if I take a look at their recent results in all competitions, look, listen to this, guys. So they scored one goal against Atletico Madrid, one goal against Newcastle, they scored one goal against Man City. They haven't scored against Sporting Lisbon. They scored one goal against Bournemouth. Then they scored one goal against Bolton the first leg. They scored one goal against Southampton, the FA Cup, and they lost. They didn't score against Man City. So yeah, look at this. The last time Arsenal scored one goal or more, sorry, more than like two or more goals was against Leverkusen, and that was in the second leg. So it's been one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8 games where they only scored, just one goal. Like Arsenal's attack here is starting to become a bit concerned. And if Arsenal do not improve on their goal difference, then Man City, if they win every game, then they're gonna win the league. Because looking at the table right now, their goal difference is 26. But for Man City, their goal difference is 29. So that's why Arsenal, yeah, have really got to start to score a lot of goals. Because if they don't, then Man City could win the league if they win every game, of course, on goal difference. Do you know what I mean? So Arsenal have got to improve on goals. They really got to. But I don't know if they're going to do it. And since Arsenal tend to score at least one goal, there's only going to be one prediction, which I'll get to in just a moment. But as usual, let's just quickly do some stats. So, one sec. There you go. So here we go. Arsenal have never lost in 32 home league games against Fulham, the most any side has faced another without defeat in English football history. Sorry, English Football League history. Fulham have won just one of their last 15 Premier League games against Arsenal, a 2-1 home win in December 2023, which was the last day of that year. Fulham have never won a Premier League away game against the league leaders in 30 attempts, with their last visit since a 2-2 draw at Liverpool in December 2024. Arsenal have conceded just 11 goals in their 17 Premier League home league games this season and have only failed to find the net themselves at the Emirates once. They've conceded more than once, just twice at home this term, with those coming in both of defeats against Man United and Bournemouth. Fulham have failed to score in 4 of their last 6 league games, though they've won both times they found the net in this one. 3-1 Burnley and 1-0 against Villa. And finally, Arsenal have scored 17 goals from corners in the Premier League this season, including their winner against Newcastle last time out. It's the outright most corners goals any side has netted in a single campaign in a competition. So yeah, there you go. So as you can see here, the fact that Arsenal have never lost a home game against Fulham in the last 32 games is absolutely crazy. But for me, yeah, I just feel like Arsenal going to get this win. But I just feel like it's going to be another game where they just score one goal, just keep it tight, and also keep a clean sheet. Because like I mentioned, 8 games in all competitions, they've only scored one goal. And of course, there's only 2 games where they didn't do so. Yeah, Sporting and Man City in the Carabao Cup. So there we go. So the fact that Arsenal only can score one goal and win the game, I feel like it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. So yeah, for that game, I'm going to go for 1-0 to Arsenal. They'll probably score from a set piece, and that's basically it. That's basically it. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Arsenal win because Fulham, this is going to be a tough game for Arsenal because if I look at the table right now, Fulham are fighting for Europe and they're on the same points as Brentford and Fulham. They're only 1 point behind Bournemouth and 2 points behind Brighton. So Fulham are looking, and of course Marco Silva is going to leave this season. So Fulham are looking to hopefully get Europe with Marco Silva leaving at the end of this season. So ain't gonna be easy for Arsenal because they have some because Fulham have made have did have games where they make it difficult for Arsenal, especially earlier this season 1-0. So it ain't gonna be easy for Arsenal, but they'll just about get the job done. See, I'm gonna go for 1-0, and the only goal scoring in that game is Victor Gyökeres, and that's basically it. So yeah, 1-0 to Arsenal. It's gonna be my score prediction on Saturday. So there we go. All right, so let's move on into Super Sunday's games, and all of these games are different. So yeah, Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. Of course, Bournemouth still remain unbeaten. In fact, if I take a look at Bournemouth's recent one, I believe they're unbeaten. In fact, let me just see these stats so that they can help me. So let's have a look. So let's read out these stats. So Bournemouth are unbeaten in their last five Premier League games against Crystal Palace, having lost five in a row against the Eagles before this. Crystal Palace had kept a clean sheet in five of their last eight Premier League away games against Bournemouth. At no other side have they recorded more shootouts in the competition, also five in Leicester. Alright, here we go. Bournemouth are unbeaten in their last 14 Premier League games, the longest ongoing one in the division. Only two teams have had more than 14 game unbeaten runs within a single campaign and finished outside the top six. Wimbledon and Chelsea in 15th, 16th, which they finished 10th, unfortunately. Crystal Palace have lost 10 of their last 13 Premier League away games, as many defeats on the road as their first 28 games under Olivier Glasner. And that's basically it. So there you go, man. Bournemouth are unbeaten in the last 14 Premier League games this season, and they're in seventh place. And like I said, they're the team that's also getting to Europe. So Ariola, who's gonna leave at the end of the season, is doing a really good job. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, if Villa win the Europa League, which of course they have to get the job done next week, and finish fifth because they are in fifth place right now, then sixth place gets you Champions League. So one of those teams could either get Europa League or Champions League, depending on the situation with Villa. So this is huge for Bournemouth. And yeah, man, Bournemouth, they continue to remain unbeaten, of course. They haven't won three in a row because their last game, of course, was a 2-0 draw against Leeds United, which are predicted spot on. So yeah, man. So Bournemouth, 14 Premier League games unbeaten is crazy right now. Absolutely crazy. And they started the season well, but in October to January, they have been awful. But now they continue to go on a B to 1 like they did earlier this season. So there we go. But yeah, man, in terms of this game, I'm gonna go for a. In fact, let me look at Crystal Palace. Let's see what they are. Crystal Palace on 43 points. I mean, 9 points. I mean, Palace for me are safe. I think they are safe because with three games to go, yeah, Palace cannot be in a relegation. So yeah, Palace are going to be safe. But if they just get one more win, then they're truly safe. But Crystal Palace are safe because 43 points, 9 points above Tottenham. So yeah, so it all depends, man. But yeah, Palace are safe for me. So I feel like Palace, if they want to get, just one more win, then hopefully this will be the game to do it. So, but I really do not see that happening. So for this game on Sunday, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Bournemouth win against Crystal Palace. Like, this is a huge game for Bournemouth, and it's gonna be live on TV as well. So yeah, if Bournemouth continue to remain unbeaten, then they could be the team could get Europe for the first time in their club's history, and that would be huge for them. It really would. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Bournemouth 2-1 win against Palace. Goal score for Bournemouth, I'm gonna go for Justin Kluivert and Eve Allison to score. For Crystal Palace, I'm gonna go for Jon Philip Mateta. So yeah, 2-1 to Bournemouth is gonna be my score prediction on Sunday. So there we go. All right, the next game, like I said, the big game of the weekend, Manchester United versus Liverpool, of course. Both teams won their previous game, 3-1 Liverpool win against Palace, which I got it spot on. For Man United, they won 2-1 against Brentford, which I also got it spot on. And yeah, look at this, people. Man United is basically third versus fourth. Of course, Man United on 61 points and Liverpool are in fourth place on 58 points. Now, of course, those teams will definitely get Champions League football. But if you think about it, this is the battle for third place. Of course, those one of course is not going to get guaranteed, but if Liverpool right now, they're in a good run of form. They won all three Premier League games, and they're close to Man United, but they're on the same point as Aston Villa. So I know that Liverpool would definitely do not want to drop down to fifth yet again, but they do know they'll get Champions League football either way. So yeah, man. So this is the Northwest Derby. This is the two biggest clubs in England. Liverpool first and Man United second. So there we go. So yeah, I mean, usually I'm looking forward to this game, but I honestly do not care at this moment in time because my club is in a mess right now. But we shall see, man. But even though both of these teams um want to get third place. It does really matter because both teams will get Champions League football next season. So, and it all depends on a massive drop off. Because if Liverpool drop off, then boy, that would be a disgrace. And the same thing goes for Man United. But they will get Champions League football. They will get Champions League football. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me have a look at these stats. For both teams. So here we go. Manchester United have won just 3 of the last 19 Premier League games against Liverpool, though are looking to repeat the league double over the Reds for the first time since the 15 to 16 season, so almost 10 years now. Crazy. Liverpool have won 3 of the last 5 away league games against Manchester United, as many as in their previous 18 visits to Old Trafford. Since Michael Carrick's first Premier League game in charge this season, Man United have won more points than any other side, which was 29. Carrick's 9 wins in 13 matches, 2 draws and 2 losses, already more than Ruben Amorim won in his 20 games in this earlier this season. Only in the opening 5 matches of the season have Liverpool enjoyed a longer winning in the Premier League than their ongoing one of 3 victories. The Reds have though won only one of the last 12 Premier League games. Side starts today in the top 3. And finally, Manchester United have won their third most home points in the Premier League this season. Last season, they were 14th in the home table with 24 points. The Red Devils have won 6 of their last 7 at Old Trafford, losing to other than Leeds United, which was not too long ago. So, as you can see here, these stats kind of do work in Man United's favour, especially when Michael Carrick is in charge. So ever since he came in, Man United form are in first place. So if Man United want to keep Michael Carrick, then do so. But it all depends on what the players do for him. But there you go. And another stat is that Bruno Fernandes had the same number of assists this season that Mesut Ozil did in the 15-16 season, which is 19. So Bruno Fernandes is just 2 assists away from breaking that record. So let imagine, yeah, if Bruno Fernandes breaks an assist record against Liverpool. Oh my goodness me! Like, if you're a Liverpool fan, you should be absolutely fuming that Bruno Fernandes could potentially break the Premier League record against your club, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, man, Bruno Fernandes is almost there, man. He's almost there. Now, do I think that Liverpool are going to, both teams are going to battle on each other? I do not think so. I really don't. I think it's going to be a close game. And I think the one team that's going to win this game for me is Manchester United. So that's why I think for me that Man United, the fact that it's going to be 10 years since their last league double for Liverpool, which is absolutely crazy. But I think they're going to do it. I think Man United will do the league double for Liverpool because even though Liverpool have won 3 Premier League games in a row, Michael Carrick's doing a really good job. And don't forget, Ruben Amorim made Man United go to Anfield and and beat Liverpool for the first time since 2016, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, Man United, after all these years of not doing the league double, they're gonna do it on Sunday. They are gonna do it, and we'll see if Mo Salah can do something at Old Trafford because he loves going to Old Trafford and either scoring and assisting. So this will be Mo Salah's last game at Old Trafford if he's fit enough to play. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But I just think Man United under Michael Carrick will get the win because Michael Carrick has beaten Chelsea, he has beaten Tottenham, he's beaten Tottenham at home, Man City at home, Arsenal away, and Chelsea away. So basically, two away wins and two home wins, under Michael Carrick. So, yeah, man, he's going to get another big win against Liverpool. So that's why I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win. Goal scorers for Man United, I'm going to go for Casemiro and Benjamin Sesko. And I think Bruno Fernandes will at least get an assist to equal that record. Liverpool only goal scorer, I'm going to go for Dominic Szoboszlai. So, yeah, 2-1 to Man United. Like, I usually looking forward to this game because I'm hoping that this game ends in a draw. But like I said, I really do not care at this moment in time. My club is in a mess, and whoever wins this game is not going to affect Chelsea. So yeah, man. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Manchester United win against Liverpool. So there we go. And this is another game we usually do not see this most of the time, but there's another game on Sunday, which is a 7 o'clock kickoff, and it's going to be live on TNT Sports 1, and that is Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, Aston Villa, I believe, won their last game. Let's see. Where is Villa? No, they lost their last game against Fulham away from home. Yeah, 1-0. Whereas for Tottenham Hotspur, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but for the first time this year, Tottenham have finally won a Premier League game. And that was away to Wolves, which was 1-0. But unfortunately, they've got two bad injuries. Dominic Solanke and Xavi Simons. And it looks like both of them ain't going to feature, well, especially Xavi Simons, ain't going to feature for the World Cup. So he's torn his ACL and he's going to be out for at least 9 months. So, I mean, if you're Robert De Zerbi, you've got to feel sorry for him because the fact that he's taken over a Tottenham job, which have got 37 injuries, are still in the relegation zone with despite winning against Wolves. Like, you've got to feel for Robert De Zerbi. And for me, yeah, like I think Tottenham, you know, they've really, really got to pick up results because if I look at the next few games, they've got a Villa on Sunday, then the next game is at home to Leeds United on the Monday night, and then after that, on the 19th of May, they got Chelsea away, and then on the final day of the season, they've got Everton. They're at home against Everton. So if Tottenham want to survive, they've got to make sure they pick up at least 2 wins and hoping that West Ham drop at least 2 games in order for them to stay up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but they're they're in a difficult situation at the moment in time because they're away to Villa, and of course Villa want to secure Champions League football. So if you look at the games I'm mentioning, they're facing Villa, who are fighting for, who want to secure Champions League football. Then they're home to Leeds United, who are also trying to secure for survival, even though they're on 40 points. Then they're away to Chelsea, who may be also trying to secure for Europe, even though it may not happen. And they're at home to Everton, who's also trying to fight for Europe as well. So these games that Tottenham got ain't easy, man. It really ain't that easy. Big up to Saeed. It ain't that easy. It really isn't. So we'll see what Tottenham do. But first things first, let's just look at these stats. So Aston Villa won this exact fixture 2-0 last season. Last beating Tottenham Hotspur in consecutive home league games was in May/November 2004. Tottenham Hotspur have lost 6 of their last 10 Premier League games against Aston Villa. more they had in the previous 34 against the Villains. None of the last 21 Premier League meetings between Villa and Spurs have finished level. Only Chelsea versus Crystal Palace between September and February 2024 had a longer one with no draws in the competition's history. Aston Villa have won just two of their previous seven Premier League games, suffering as many defeats in their 24 matches prior to that. Though could win three in a row at home for the first time since January since a one of eight. And finally, Spurs ended a 15-game winless run against Wolves last time out and could record consecutive victories in the Premier League for the first time since their opening two matches of the season against Burnley 3-0 and Man City 2-0. So there you go. Like you see from here, Tottenham have finally won a Premier League game, but they're still in the relegation zone. Now, for me, yeah, I understand why Tottenham players are celebrating because they finally won the game, but they do realize they're still in the relegation zone, and also West Ham beat Everton, especially in the last minute. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So for this game, I mean, you would think that Tottenham should get a win, but the fact that it's at Villa's ground and Villa want to secure Champions League football, I don't see Tottenham getting a win, even though they did beat Wolves, who are in the relegation zone. So, yeah, I think, like, I know Tottenham fans were aiming to say this, but I have to go for Villa win because, like I said, Tottenham's next few games are teams who are fighting, to do something. So, ain't gonna be easy, man. And even though Tottenham do have a good record at Villa Park, last season under Ange they've lost and are close to the relegation zone. This time Tottenham are in the relegation zone, so I just don't see them, getting the results. I really don't. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Aston Villa win on this one, unfortunately. Even though they lost yesterday to Nottingham Forest, the ties are not over yet. And if I take a look at Villa's form, they had a defeat, like I mentioned, away to Fulham, but they got two wins and a draw before that. So there we go. But yeah, Villa are now in fifth, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, 2-1 Villa. Goal scores, I'm gonna go for Ollie Watkins and for Morgan Rogers to score. For Tottenham Hotspur, I'm gonna go for. In fact, they do have their attack is not been that great. In fact, and they also have injuries as well. You know what? Yeah, I don't think Tottenham may score in this game against Villa because there's no Xavi Simons. There, in fact, let me just take a look at Tottenham's attacking players. Let me just have a quick look. Let me have a look. So yeah, which players are injured? So yeah, Xavi Simons. So yeah, there's no Xavi Simons. Odegaard. There's still no Kudus. There's still no Kulusevski. Solanke's out. Um, let's see. And I think that's it. So yeah, with Charlison is still there. So maybe he might score, but he hasn't scored in a few more games. So I don't know which Tottenham players are going to score in this game. In fact, maybe it could be the defenders. So you know what? I'm going to change it to 2-1. Oh, excuse me. Bless me. So yeah, I might go for defenders to score, but so yeah, I'm going to change it back to 2-1. I'm just going to go for my original prediction. I was thinking, yeah, Tottenham have so many injuries, but I think maybe Mickey Van der Ven might score for Tottenham in that game. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2 on Villa on Sunday. So there we go. So yeah, that's gonna be my score prediction. Now we've got two games on a Monday, which has never happened before. So let me start with Chelsea game against Forest because that Monday, by the way, is on a bank holiday. So there's not going to be any school or any work because of that. But I want to say this year, this is strange because not only is this game on a Monday in the afternoon, but this game is on a 3 o'clock and is on Sky Sports. Like, when have you ever seen a Premier League game on the 3 o'clock and it's live on TV. When has that ever happened before? I can't remember the last time this ever happened. And I don't think, yeah, it's going to happen again. It may happen next season, but I really do not see this happening again. So it's so weird. I only get it because it's a bank holiday, but 3 o'clock on a Monday night and it's on Sky Sports as well. That is so weird. It really is weird. But that if the Premier League wants that to happen, then so be it. So be it. But Chelsea's game on a Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock is strange, you know. It really is. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's the game. I don't have any stats for that one, but all I know is that ever since Forest have come to the Premier League, they've never lost at Stamford Bridge. Absolutely never. So the fact that Chelsea have a good record at the City Ground, but Forest have a good record at Stamford Bridge, is absolutely crazy. Like, I can't remember the last time Chelsea done the double for Nottingham Forest. I really can't. So this is going to be a tough game because Forest right now on 39 points and then also looking to stay up, you know. So all Forest have got to do is win at least 2 more games and they are safe because they are 5 points above the relegation with 3 games to go. So it ain't going to be that easy, but you know, I mean, it's crazy to think that Chelsea have not scored a Premier League goal in the month of April. Like, it's absolutely crazy. So, I believe, yeah, that Chelsea are finally going to score a Premier League game since that 4 win away to Villa about 2 months ago. Like, you know, because there's no Liam Senior, Callum Fogg. This is third Premier League game in charge, and of course he has not won a Premier League game, but you know it's gonna be interesting. So for me, if Chelsea lose, I'm not gonna be surprised, and I'm not gonna get angry. If we draw again, same thing. But if we win, obviously, then I'll be a bit surprised, but happy at the same time because listen, if we do win this game, then I don't think we're still gonna get sixth place because let's say that Chelsea lose this game, then we can go from potentially 8th to 12th. Do you know what I mean? So it all just all depends if the players can turn up and if Callum Farr can just continue to go to basics and just making sure that our players play well, can score a goal, this and that. So we'll see, man. We shall see. So if Limassol was in charge, I would go for a 1-0 Forest win. But because he's no longer here, I'm going to back my team and I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1. But if we do lose, then I'm not gonna complain and I'm not gonna be surprised. But I'm just gonna go for 2-1. It's time that we finally get to win against Wales at Stamford Bridge, which we never done before, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Chelsea 2-1. Goal scorers, João Pedro and Enzo Fernandez. For Forest, I'm gonna go for um Morgan Gibbs White to score. I mean, we haven't. I still don't think we're gonna keep a clean sheet because we never done so since that Brentford game. But we shall see if we can keep a clean sheet, which we never done before. In the past 4 months. So there we go. See, I mean, I know people say, "Oh, so you back your team, eh?" Like I said, if Limassol was in charge, I would not back this team to win. But since he's gone, I will back my team to like hopefully not only win but try and score in the Premier League as well because it's been a long time. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Chelsea on that one. And then the final game on Game Week 35 is on a Monday night where Everton are at home to Manchester City. And of course, this will be Manchester City's first time at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. This will be Man City's first time. Now, of course, I know Arsenal fans will be hoping and praying that Everton can do something against Man City, but what Arsenal fans don't realize is that the last time Everton beat Man City in all competitions, was in 2017, I believe. Yeah, 2017 or 16 or something like that, which was basically about 9 years ago, which is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, man, despite Man City either being home and away, they still get a result against Everton. I don't think has David Moyes ever beat Pep Guardiola before? I don't think he has. I don't think David Moyes has ever beat Pep Guardiola before. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But of course, Man City got that 2-0 win against Southampton, and the last game in the Premier League was a 2-1 home win against Arsenal. So yeah, man. So Man City, if they want to put more pressure on Arsenal because they play on a Monday and we're also play tomorrow, they've got to win. Because anyhow Man City, yeah, drop points in the game against Everton, then boy, then they have to rely on Arsenal to continue to drop points and for them to pick up points. That's the only way. So, like I said before, if there's one team that is going to win the league, then one team has got to win every single game. So if Man City want to be having any chance of winning the title, they've got to win this game. Because don't forget, they do have a game in hand. And that game in hand is before the FA Cup final, which is in 2 weeks' time. So, yeah, Man City, they've got to win against Everton because Everton's new stadium ain't been that great this season. It really hasn't. And yeah, Man City have a good record against Everton. So, ain't going to be easy. But I think Man City will just about get the job done. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Man City win on a Monday night. Goal score for Everton, Beto, because he's on a good goal scoring one. For Man City, I'm gonna go for Wayne Turkey to score and Erling Haaland. So yeah, 2-1 to Man City is gonna be my score prediction on Monday. And like I said, if anyhow Man City do not win that game, boy, they're in deep trouble. The citizens deep trouble. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 in that prediction. All right, so let's go through predictions one more time. So today's game, I'm gone for Leeds 3-0 win against Burnley. Then tomorrow's games, I've gone for a 1-0 join the London derby between Brentford and West Ham. Then I've gone for a 2-1 Brighton win against Newcastle, a 2-0 Sunderland win against Wolves, and then an Arsenal 1-0 win against Fulham. Then Super Sunday's games, I've gone for a 2-1 Bournemouth win against Palace, a 2-1 Man United win against Liverpool, and then a 2-1 Villa win against Tottenham, and then I usually say Monday night, but two games on Monday. I went for a 2-1 Chelsea win against Forest, and then a 2-1 Manchester City win against excuse me, away to Everton. And that, my people, is my Premier predictions for game week number 35. And since that's the end of my predictions, that's the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said in the beginning, if you guys got your score predictions for this weekend's Premier League Game Week 35, then do let me know in the comments down below. And I want to thank you, all of you that subscribed over the past few content I've done. And like I said, I'm on the road to 1K. So if you guys can help me to get there, then that would be great. So yeah, make sure you guys do like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hype this video, comment below if you got your score predictions or if you have anything else you want to say. And yeah, man, enjoy the games, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy the bank holiday, which is this Monday. And yeah, man, it's your boy Elijah here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and yeah, and motivate people. Peace.